So we're looking at the Zosi app today. So I'm going to open up the Zosi app, and this is the first screen that pops up. This is your thumbnails of your cameras. They're not live. To go live, you can go down here and hit the 4 button right there, and it will connect and hook up your cameras live. So this is a live setting. The bottom camera is not connected, so it's not going to load. So let's go back here and we will check out our recorded events. So right here is our recorded events. So you can connect on this on the thumbnails, and you can see that the Zosi app picked up this cyclist going by, and it does a pretty good job of picking up individuals, people and stuff like that. Other times it'll say that it sees somebody and you won't see anybody on the camera, so it's kind of like hit or miss. Now if you see, it actually picked up these 2 cyclists right here, and it did a good job of that. So sometimes you will get no thumbnail at all, like this one. This one has no thumbnail at all, and it says it happened it finally populated. So sometimes this app sometimes they populate the thumbnails and sometimes they don't. But if you want to go in and look at live, so let's see how that will work. Let's go into live. Let's go to playback. Now, sometimes it will go right to the time and sometimes it won't. So in this case, let's see what happens. We'll give it a minute. And then sometimes it says the video is over. Click to replay. So let's see if it'll populate the right time. So it went to 8:48:41. And I don't see anybody there. 8:48:47. Nobody there. 8:48:51. So let's go back here. And we'll see that this happened at 8:25:39. So just right there, it didn't go where it was supposed to go. Let's see if it'll do it this time. So it went to 8:25. So there is a cyclist, and there is the other cyclist. So the second time it did it, the first time it didn't. So you're about 50% whether you're going to go where you need to go to review. Sometimes I'll just look at the thumbnail. Sometimes I will just look at the thumbnail time recording, like 8:25:39, and I will pull it up myself. So let's go back to the main camera. The main cameras, I want to go for recording, and we're going to scroll. So we're going to pull this video live to the recorder, see if it'll connect. Sometimes it connects, sometimes it doesn't connect. I just want you to be aware of that. So we went to 8:48. Time is 9:01. So it connected pretty good that time. So you can expand your timeline over here, and then you can scroll. Now once you're connected to the NVR, it works good. But connecting to the NVR sometimes doesn't connect, sometimes it does connect. Sometimes the shadows will give you a false reading. Now I turned off all motion settings because they don't work. They will, anytime the shadow moves or anything, when I say they don't work, they will just bother you all day long with false information. So humanoid settings, it will sometimes pick up this shadow as a humanoid. So beware that you're going to get a lot of false warnings. When it says that it has AI, you can take that with a grain of salt because AI is not equal to everybody's app. Now, the app is pretty much good if it would connect. So I think the downfall is probably the servers that you're going through. I think that when you connect to your camera, you're not going straight to your NVR through your house Wi-Fi. I think you're going through your internet to their server back to your house. And I think that's where the problem lies. That's why it doesn't connect sometimes, and that's why it does connect sometimes. So if you go, we will try this one. We're going to do a playback of the garden. My wife's watering the garden. And we'll see if it goes to there. It did. It went right there. Now that's the way it's supposed to work. It should work that quick, but it doesn't. Sometimes it does. So I'm going to give it a 50% hit rate because, which is not scientific. It could be 40%, it could be 60%, depending on the day that you do it on. So let's try this one, playback. Somebody's walking. And it goes back to the old thumbnail, and it did go to the jogger, the walker. Okay, that time it worked. I think it's because we are connected. But sometimes there is no connection. Now this says someone showed up, and my wife is in the picture there. Let's see if it'll pull up. And it goes to the old thumbnail, and there it is. So that time it worked. So today it's working fairly decent. And if we go to, let's see, menu, this is where you store things if you want to store things. Images, if you take a snapshot or videos, it will store them in this file folder. Then you have to transfer them to your phone folder. Now, it's hard to get all the stuff to show you what happens and what doesn't happen. But what I've noticed when your settings, like smart detection, if you go to your alert mode, sometimes you will go and your humanoid detection will be turned off, which means you won't get any alerts. And somehow the app has turned itself off. I don't know why it would turn itself off without your doing anything, but sometimes you come in here and all your settings on humanoid detection are turned off. Now let's go to channel 2. And sometimes, like you notice, okay, face alerts is turned off. Sometimes when you go to this screen, this check mark will then pop up later. This is kind of like delayed. So I don't know what the connection is between the settings and whether they set or not and why they disappear on their own. But I just want you to be aware that if you ever have to, so sometimes it will say videos not found. Let me see if I can demonstrate that. There's a lot of stuff that it only happens on certain days. So let's go back. And we want to go here to events. So let's go to events. And let's try another day. So this one is on the 22nd. Let's try it. Now I got my little screen recorder pop up here, so it's showing. So this is yesterday. Yeah, yesterday showed up. But it will say video, no video, no video. And you will think you lost your video, and then you won't be able to pull it up. So that doesn't present a problem. I verified it's still in the NVR recorder, but the problem is maybe you're vacationing, you're traveling, and you want to work with the police department or something, and you won't be able to pull up your event. We can pull up an event on the 19th. Hit playback. So this is a few days ago. Let's see if it finds the video. And you wonder, okay, why does it take so long to connect to the NVR sometimes, and why is the NVR fast at other times? The only thing I can think of is the server. So now this will spin and spin and spin. Ultimately, when you buy a security system, you get the hardware, the cameras, the NVR, but you're going to be dealing with others. You're going to be dealing with their software. So if you need a good software experience, you need to be diligent and do a lot of research, because what you see on these YouTube channels is just superficial. Yes, it works, but you don't see all the little nooks and crannies of when it doesn't work. Now this is a good example. You can see that nothing's going on. It's not pulling up. There's nothing happening. Now usually before this it'll say no video, no. But if you go to the NVR, it will be there. So should we cancel this, or do we want to wait all day for this? I think we'll cancel this and we'll see if we can go to the 20th. Okay, so you saw that I selected the 20th, but it says before yesterday. So this is before yesterday. And let's see how we're working here. Now sometimes you select an hour, a time, and it popped back up to the 2200 hour. Now you watch, I'm going to select 4 o'clock, and now it pops right back up to the 2200 hour. So in that respect, you can't even review the time of the day, even though you have the slider working, you're connected to the NVR. Obviously the camera is showing recorded footage. But let's go back and try it one more time. Well, let's unexpand this. And we're going to go here. Let's go back. Okay, let's see if it sets right here. Now it popped, see it, go back to 2200. So the app is not reliable. The cameras seem to be reliable, the NVR seems to be reliable, but the app, which for all intents and purposes, most of you are going to be dealing with the app. You're not going to run into your utility room and review it on the screen, unless it's somewhere handy in your office or something where you have your NVR. My NVR is not readily accessible, so my whole use is through the app, and the app is not reliable for whatever reason. They went back to that time frame. Now I don't know what the deal is with that. So that was before yesterday. So let's go 720, 719. 718. Let's see what happens on 718. Now I know this is kind of boring, but if you're like me and you're doing your research to buy a home security system, a home camera system, then you would like to know how the app works.